Hello, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be going over 3 ACT math questions. For all these problems, I recommend pausing the video and trying all the problems yourself first before you see me solve them. Without wasting any time, let's get into it. Question 21 says, the perimeter of a certain scalene triangle is 100 inches. The side lengths of the triangle are represented by 5x, 3x plus 30, and 2x plus 10 respectively. What is the length in inches of the longest side of the triangle? So for this question, it tells us that the perimeter, and remember, to find the perimeter, you add up all the side lengths of the triangle, right? And it tells us that the perimeter is 100 inches, right? And it tells us that the side lengths are represented by 5x, 3x plus 30, and 2x plus 10. So what we can do is we can add 5x plus 3x plus 30 plus 2x plus 10 and set this equal to 100. Then we can solve for x, and we can plug in x into each of these and see which one gives us the greatest side length, which is our longest side of the triangle. So 5x plus 3x is 8x, 8x plus 2x is 10x, 10x plus 40 is 100, and now if I solve for x, I get 10x equals 60, divided by 10, divided by 10, I get x equals 6. Now I can just plug in 6 into all of these. This is going to be 30, 5 times 6. This is going to be 3 times 6, which is 18. 18 plus 30 is 48. And then the last one, it's going to be 2 times 6, which is 12. 12 plus 10 is 22. So it is going to be 48, which matches answer choice D. On to question 47, which says the recursive formula for a sequence is given below, where an is the value of the nth term. a1 equals 10, an equals an minus 1 plus 5, and it asks us which of the following equations is an explicit formula for this sequence. So for this question, what I would do is I would find some terms using this formula, and I would plug in, let's say, first, let's just use 1. I would plug in 1 into all of these and see which one gives me 10, right? And then let's say when I find out what the second term is, I would plug in 2 and see if it matches the answer when I plug in 2 into this formula up here. So let's do that. So a1 equals 10, a2 equals a1 plus 5, which is 15, a3 equals a2 plus 5, which is 20. So each term is 5 more than the previous term. Now let's plug in 1 for n into all of these. For the first one, it's going to be negative 5 plus 10, which is 5. We're looking for 10, not 5, so it's not this. For the second one, when we plug in 1, we get 5 plus 5, we get 10. a1 equals 10 is what we have, so this might work. For C, when we plug in 1, you get 5 plus 10, which is 15. It doesn't work. It's not this. And D, when I plug in 1, I get 10 minus 5. It's not this either. And then the last one, when I plug in 1, I get 10 times 1, which is 10. 10 plus 5, which is 15. So it's not this either. So actually, I didn't even need to find these. I could have just used the first one. But actually, it's good that I found the second and third term, because for this problem, we just got lucky by just being able to use the first term to figure out what the correct explicit formula is. but on most of the time, you're going to have to figure out the second or third term in order to figure out your explicit formula. With the first term, you might just get multiple formulas giving you 10 when you plug in 1 for n. So it is always good to figure out some other terms. So it's B. On to question 47, which says the ratio of the two perimeters of two squares is 2 to 3. If the area of the larger square is 324 square feet, what is the length in feet of the side of the smaller square? So for this problem, what I would do first is figure out the side length of the larger square. Then I would find the perimeter of the larger square. Then I would use this ratio to figure out the perimeter of the smaller square. And then I would figure out the side length of the smaller square. So let's do that. Remember, to find the area of a square, it's the side squared, which equals 324. So that means it's going to be the square root to figure out the side length of the larger square. The side length of the larger square is 18 because the square root of 324 is 18. Remember, to find the perimeter, you add up all the sides. All the sides in a square are equal, and there are 4 sides in a square. So you're just going to add 18 4 times, which is the same as multiplying 4 times 18, which equals 72. Now we can use this ratio to figure out the perimeter of the smaller square. 2 to 3. Let's call the perimeter of the smaller square x to 72. Notice that for this ratio, you multiply 24 to 3 to get 72. So that means to figure out x, you would multiply 2 by 24 as well. That means x is 48. Now we have the perimeter of the smaller square. And remember, since all sides in a square are equal, to figure out the side length of the smaller square, we can just divide by the number of sides, which is 4. And 48 divided by 4, that is 12. So that means the answer is A. The answer is A. I hope my explanations made sense, and thank you for watching.